Something tells me that salted caramel sauce is really not meant to look like that. Welcome back to First Time Baking Diaries, and today we are making salted caramel sauce. And as you can see, the first attempt of this sauce did not go well. It was a hot, excuse the pun, mess and an absolute fail. So this is a dry caramel sauce that I'm making, meaning that I didn't add any water. I just put the sugar straight into the pan and let it melt. You want the sugar to develop into this nice amber colour, but I left it on the stove too long. Now you can see that I'm pulling these stringy things from the spatula. In whatever state of confusion I was in, I was thinking that the spatula is melting. Mind you, it's heat proof, so it absolutely wasn't. And this is actually just strings of the melted sugar that I'm pulling away from the spatula. So I took the sugar off the heat to have a closer inspection. And then when I brought it back to the heat, it just went crazy. Like, it just bubbled up so quickly, which is not meant to do when it's just sugar in the pan. This usually happens when you add something cold, butter or cream, into the sugar. So at this stage, I knew that this was burnt and unusable, and that was round one finished and failed. But of course, I'm not one to give up, and I need this salted caramel sauce for the cupcakes that I'm making on the weekend. So I went back in again. Mind you, at this point, I had sustained an injury because back in attempt number 1, when the sugar was clumping up, I thought, ooh, let me taste a bit of that. Now, common sense is not that common with many people. I am one of them. So note to self, do not eat roasting hot sugar because it will burn your tongue and you will be in pain over the next few days. And then I also spilt some of the melted sugar onto the stove, and then I picked that up. So now I have a blister, and here I am showing off my boo-boo, although the camera really isn't picking that up. So I just repeated the same process again, melted the sugar, and then waited for it to develop into this amber colour. You'll see that the sugar is quite dark, so this is actually quite a rich flavour. And then once it's that colour, you can just add your butter, mix that in, and then once that is fully incorporated, I just went in and added the double cream. So I can find the fun in many things, but I did not enjoy this process. I found this to be incredibly stressful, and you need to just be very hyper alert when it comes to the caramel because things can change very quickly. And how you know that it's ready is you'll have to wait for the caramel to reach a temperature of 104 degrees Celsius. And it took quite a long time to get there. I was boiling it off for like 3 minutes before it reached to that temperature, and that was stressing me out. But then I just added in the salt, mixed that in, before then pouring it into a jar and letting it set before putting it in the fridge. But thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.